What in the world, boy? It's your boy Big Low Country. For everybody out there that don't know me, my name is Big Low Country. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach that loves to sit around and talk about sports. You, yes, you yourself could have been anywhere in the world tonight, and I definitely and greatly appreciate it. First of all, if you're watching the show after we gone live already, make sure you put a what in the world boy in the comments. Also, make sure that you share the channel with your friends and family. If you do that for me, I promise you, I'll dance at your wedding one day. But I have an announcement to make to all the coaching staff. The off season is over. The off season is over. Here we are, first day of training camp, and I'm finna tell you, Bo, we gotta unpack it like we coming back from a long trip. Family, coaching staff. This is our first official coaching staff meeting of the 2025 season. Look at here, people out on the football field now, Bo. It's going down. In the words of apparently everybody on Twitter, shouts out to Yuri for the shout out. It's going down like there's a whale in the boat. So y'all know we got to chop it up with the coaching staff because unfortunately I know a lot of people weren't able to make it to training camp today, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to relay the information to you so you can make your decisions whenever you go to the barbershop or you go to the hair salon or you talking trash to the kindergarten teacher who's a Saints fan, so you can make your decisions accordingly. So, first of all, we got to show love to everybody that show love to us. Much love to y'all, Bo. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Shouts out to my homeboy Dwayne Ruff. It says rise up. Gonna get a chance to chop it up with Dwayne on Saturday. Come together Saturday. Speaking of come together Saturday, I do want to let everybody know that we are going to get together and eat a little bit of lunch after practice at Diesel's Tap House. So shouts out to y'all. Everyone who hit me up today said that they were coming. There were a few surprises today that told me that they were going to try to slide through there on Saturday. So if there's content creators that you might want to meet, I don't want to ruin the surprise. I don't want to ruin the surprises. But there's some folks that said that they might be able to come on out there. So y'all make sure that y'all hit us up, slide on through the Diesel's Tap House on Saturday, 12 o'clock after the come together Saturday's practice. So we got to show love to everybody showing love to us. Shouts out to Deacon here chilling out with us. Also, Big John Higgins is in here. He says, Big Low Country, what's up with y'all? And Coach Roney. Training camp is kicked off. So we'll see here shortly what we looking like. I'm glad that you said that, Bo, because we're gonna chop it up. Ricky Gaines in here. What in the world, Bo? I'm sorry, is it J Coop or J Co-op? Uh, Let me know if I've been pronouncing your name wrong for the last 2-3 years. My apologies. But J Coop is in here. He said, "Hey man, I see that boy Berto on the Falcons IJ. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Berto, Bo. Just good people. Just good people all together, man. Shouts out to Berto. We also got our first Superman chatter tonight. My homeboy, big boy Brewski's in here. He says, "What up, Bo? Been waiting to hear what your thoughts are from today. I definitely appreciate it." And that's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Shouts out to my homeboy, big boy Brewski, Bo. With 499 Superman chat. Look, he done started off. What they say? We gonna start this thing off right. That's what he doing. That's what he doing. So y'all know we got to chop it up, kick it around, see what everybody's talking about. And I gotta kind of give you my opinion on what we got going on. We got Karina in here. Shouts out to Karina. Always a great time chilling out with my sis Karina. She actually let me get a fan for a little bit. Though I was just sitting there chilling. She threw the fan on my neck. She said, "Big Low, you look hot." I said, "Oh man, doggone, I'm struggling that much. Good grief." So shouts out to Karina. Zach, shouts out to my homeboy Zach in here, Zachary Noble. He said, "Big Low," he said, "I met you at camp today. I definitely remember you, Bo." He says, short guy with past pro shop hat and prime jersey. Keep up the kind. I definitely appreciate it, man. It was definitely great meeting you. Shouts out to Yuri. Got a funny story about Yuri. A little bit later on, he reposted the stream on Twitter. We're on Twitter, Facebook tonight. Brian Moses, what's up? And Coach Roney, she's not mic'd up tonight, but I will tell Coach Roney, 3 hit. Oh, okay, so D Sloan's in here. He says, "What in the world, Bo? Training camp is here." Yes, cool is in here. What in the world, Bo? Padres in here. What's up, Coach? greetings from Columbus, Ohio. I forgot. He had to go and secure another real estate deal. Shouts out to Coach Padre out there doing big things, the things that we can't do. Barbara really says, is Darnell Mooney okay? Those are some of the questions that we have after leaving training camp. Dre Murphy says, what's up, beloveds? How y'all beloveds doing and feeling on this hot, nice, pretty Thursday night, beloveds? Hello, what's going on, Dre? Hope you're doing good tonight, man. 10 Cam says, howdy. A1 forever. He was chilling out with us at training camp today. He says, yo, what it do, Big Low? Hey, man, we trying to keep it in between the mayonnaise and the mustard, bro. You already know. So, look here. We're going to talk about, I'm not even going to say the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, y'all know my mind be all over the place, right? So we're going to compartmentalize how we're going to talk about training camp today. So, first of all, I think we're going to talk about what everyone is the most excited about as far as this season, this off season. We're going to talk about the defense first. I'm going to tell you the people who standing out to me, the people who maybe everybody didn't think would really do anything. Once again, the disclaimer. I write disclaimers for a living. The disclaimer. This is day one of training camp. Right? Once again, the disclaimer. This is day one of training camp. We'll say it one more time. 3 times for emphasis. If y'all read y'all Bible, y'all know. This is day one of training camp. Okay. I just want to go ahead and get it out of the way. So, moving forward, a few players I want to name. Zach Harrison. Goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. The Atlanta Falcons ran a variation of the NASCAR package today. Zach Harrison was coming off the ball like he had gasoline draws on, running from a fire-breathing dragon. Zach Harrison is looking like that dude. You know what? You want to know what Zach Harrison reminds me of? He reminds me of the guy from the Super Bowl season. Man, what's the kid's name? The kid that got in trouble for buying the marijuana, the Mary Jane, the Reggie. What's that kid's name? The big kid. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Everybody say he had all the talent in the world. Somebody put it in the chat. But that's what he reminded me of today. Dre's also in here. He says, 3 Nation in the building. Coach Ronnie, what's up? So Coach Ronnie, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. Coach Ronnie, she don't hear y'all right now. She don't hear the things that I'm saying because Coach Ronnie has been on this Love Island binge. And right now, it's like she's probably watching TikTok videos. Okay. So she was ignoring me. That's what happened. She was ignoring me. Okay. She don't do it when it feels right, y'all. Okay, all right. But Dre in here says, shouts out 3G. Dre, he says, what in the world, Bo? I'm here, Big Low. That Dre, he hit me up on Twitter. Dre was like, I need your thoughts, Coach Low. So I appreciate y'all for hitting me up, letting me know, that it's it's emergency coaches meeting time. So Dre Harrison, dude came out looking like he was on fire. Like I said, he looked like the guy from the 2016 team, the big boy, that got in trouble for trying to buy the weed for he played for the Atlanta Falcons. I can't remember his name. Man, I remember we drafted him. Everybody said he should have been taken higher than we took him, but he played with us like 3 or 4 years. Either way, Zach Harrison looked legit. The way that he was coming off the ball, the way that he was, he had violent feet and violent hands. He was attacking that they had him lined up on the right side. Well, on the offensive left side, he was coming off playing fast and physical. Dan Quinn, fast and physical. He was looking good. Another player that looked really good today. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. A lot of people ask me who was my surprise player this year. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I hadn't really talked about it so far this offseason. It might surprise you. My surprise player is an acquisition that we made. And I'm going to ask y'all in the chat. Y'all let me know if y'all agree or disagree with me. Divine Diablo. I'm just throwing. If you agree that he could be a surprise player and an impact player on this team, put a 1 in the chat. If you disagree, you think I'm, you think I'm tripping, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know what y'all thinking. But Divine Diablo, a lot of people don't know, he led the Raiders in tackles the last 2 seasons. Mind you, whenever you with a bad team and you lead the team in tackles, that's not necessarily a great thing. But we know that he can make plays. But fact of the matter is, he would have led the team in tackles last year if he didn't get hurt. So y'all let me know if y'all agree if Divine Diablo could be that surprise impact player for this defense or for this team in general. If you do agree, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't agree, put a 2 in the chat. Sip Thoughts in here says, tardy for the party, son's football practice. It went a little long, but it will replay after the show ends, Bo. I appreciate that, Sip Thoughts. And it's crazy that you use that. It's crazy that you use that term. Remember me and Coach Ronan, we were married like 2 or 3 years, and she started watching Real Housewives of Atlanta and Kim Zolciak. Don't be tardy for the party. Whoa. Hey, nah, I just remember I was just walking through I was just walking through the house. I was just walking through the house. She was married to Corey Berry. I was just walking through the house. Don't be tardy for the party. Whoa. I look. That's all I remember. Anyway. Also, some other players, but Divine Diablo, he was out there flying around. He dropped back in coverage. What I was worried about was him filling gaps. They run that field and kill type defense, and I mean he was filling gaps the way that he needed to. Now, Jalen Walker. Now, y'all know how I am. So, if you've been around football for an extended period of time, there are small things that you notice about players, and you can tell if they're a dog or not, right? Jalen Walker comes out there with cut off jersey, no gloves. It just had the light tape around this part of his hand and his wrist. That's a that's a dog. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. That's a dog. They had him lined up out wide. They had him lined up in the mic, and he made plays from both positions. We also got another Superman chat. Shouts out to my homeboy Padre, says, "What's up, coach and staff? So when is Bijan making his debut on the show?" Hello, I hang up and listen. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Okay, so I don't know if y'all heard Jack Spade. Basically, Bijan Robinson came through, took a selfie with the fam, and Bijan Robinson got ready to walk off. Was like, "Hey, wait a minute, y'all on YouTube, ain't you?" I was like, "Yeah, we're on YouTube." He said y'all on YouTube. The thing is that it's one of them situations where, look, Bijan Robinson's grandmother and grandfather met me the last game of the season last year. Whenever we were walking out, great people, and it's one of them situations where she was like, "Oh my goodness, you make us laugh so much." So y'all don't be saying nothing mean about Bijan Robinson because I don't want grandma beating me up. But uh Padre, you are definitely a fool. I see everybody put their votes in regards to Divine Diablo. Dre Murphy, Jay, Ty Breezy, Sip Thoughts, Archangel. What's going on, Jabri? They all came in here. They said yes, they feel like Divine Diablo can be a definite impact player for the Atlanta Falcons defense. Drees, Winston, what's going on, Winston? Eye test is in here. You know it's a party now. Um, they all say that they all agree. They feel like Divine Diablo it could be that X factor that no one was expecting. Jay Murphy's in here. He came and gave the the double. You know what's going on, Dre the boxer? I see you here, Bo. Um, Zachary Noble says, yeah, he went step for step with Bijan. We're going to talk about Bijan a little bit later. Another player. Y'all know I just mentioned Jalen Walker. I'm going to say something that may be controversial. Once again, I'll follow this up with this was day one of practice. This is day one of training camp. Shirts, helmets, shorts. Follow this up. Day one of training camp. Out of all the rookies that practiced today, Billy Bowman had the best performance. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. From what I saw, out of all the rookies that practiced today, Billy Bowman had the best performance. Bo, whenever I tell you, whenever Billy Bowman, a lot of times they ran zone, but whenever they ran through his zone, whenever I say when them boys went to the bathroom, they handed them the toilet paper, that legitimately happened. Billy Bowman was in hip pockets all day long. All day long. He was coming off of the coverage, stepping up to make tackles all day long. He ran with the ones and he ran with the twos. He looked better with the ones. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. DSGB Hall says that thumbnail on the live. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I don't know if you seen your Berto's in there doing his Jacob 5-2 pose and everything. But yeah, man. Yeah, shouts out to everybody that went to training camp. But I will say this. I will say this. Your boy, Billy Bowman, is everything as advertised. Karina came there and says, Bijan did say that. He said he watches the show. Love it. Yeah, shouts out to Bijan, man. Shouts out to Bijan. Archangel says, look out for my boy James Pierce Jr. James Pierce did run with the ones and twos. James Pierce is, man, how can I say this? James Pierce is a big man. I mean, bro, we said, hey James, can you take a selfie? Go gadget arms. Like he's just a big guy. I think they got him ranked at 6'5", but he looks bigger than that. It's almost the equivalent of whenever I met Cam Newton, and Cam Newton made me look short, and I'm not used to that. You know, I stood next to him and my cousin, and I was the smallest person in the picture. That hardly ever happens, and I was like, hey, I feel uncomfortable about this. That's how I felt standing next to James Pierce. But whenever James Pierce did work the left side of the field, that's where the top notch talent happens. The top notch James Pierce, bro, he has a quick twitch. I seen a few different moves. I seen him hit a spin. I'm sorry, swim. I seen him hit a club. I also seen him look like he was going to go for an arm bar, but that's something I know. Whenever we ran practices, we asked our guys not to run, to try to prevent injury. But James Pierce came with a multiple amount of moves. He looked healthy. He looked explosive, and Bo, it's legit, Bo. It's legit. Sam the dog, he says, did you meet Cam at his cigar bar? Nah, I ain't meet Cam. So I met Cam at one of his practices for a 7-on-7 team. So yeah, man, Cam good people. Even though he went to Westlake, Cam's good people. Oh man, let me see here. I'll go, Coach Ryan. I lost my page here. Hold on. I hope I did. Okay. I used to work in these Macs. Oh, okay. Here it is. Oh, can't pull it up. Um, the so the page, it went into it like minimized, but it went up a little bit. Like now it's like miniature, and I can't see it. Well, I can't turn it off. Hold on. Hold on. How you turn it off? Or you, oh, okay. My bad. All right, y'all. I apologize. We had some technical difficulties. Coach Ron is trying to get me right. Yes, I clicked on it, but it ain't popping up for me. I apologize, everybody. Old coach having an old man moment. I was trying to move from this screen to that screen, but for some reason, so I don't know if you can see it right there. Yeah, that's it. But all right, so at the end of the day, um, yeah, as far as defensively, you had a lot of people who stood out. Somebody else who stood out, David Onyemata. David Onyemata played one technique, played three technique, a lot of great penetration. Thing is that once again, guys, this is the first day of practice. Also, it's kind of hard to block somebody when they don't have pads on, when you don't have pads on. You can't hit someone as hard as you would want to um, whenever there's no pads, right? So to a certain extent, it's thudding, but the fact of the matter is that you got to you got to take into account you're not looking at exactly what uh, the penetration looks like. You're looking at is it a situation of how exactly how explosive everyone is, how everyone is looking whenever they get back there. So that's definitely something that you got to keep in mind as well. Okay, you got me right, Coach Ron. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, baby. All right, let's do our little handshake. All right, so you're not really looking at exactly how they're looking as far as the pass rush goes. You're looking at how explosive they are coming off the ball. So that's something else that we've seen as far as this team goes. And like I said, the Zach Harrisons, David Ayamadas, um, Jalen Walker, James Pierce, they all look very explosive coming off the ball, and it looked good. Tin Cam says some guys are just getting exactly. Once again, this is the first day of practice, right? So I seen someone ask me about Xavier Watts. Xavier Watts looked good. He ran with the twos most of the time. So the thing about is Xavier Watts is they started it off with Jordan Fuller running um running with the ones for a vast majority of the time. Now, moving forward, Jordan Fuller did get put in there a good bit, but I'm looking forward to seeing how those guys are going to look as the preseason goes, because I feel like with all of the competition that's going on, there's going to be a whole lot more moves that's going to be made. I'm going to be honest with you. If Xavier Watts comes in and balls out, I don't know if it'll be one of them situations where Jordan Fuller will still be on this team. He might be a cap casualty. So that's something that I'm looking at. Now, oh, okay, we got one time for the fan in here. What's going on one time for the fan? MW franchise player. Seeing him today at practice. What's going on, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight. I hope everybody who went to training camp today, I hope y'all came home and got some rest, cooled off, because I ain't gonna lie to you. By the time that old dog walked back up to the top of the hill, man, boy, it was some hard times. It was some hard times. Now, one thing that you got to look at as far as defensively, you're also looking at the schemes that they're putting in place, right? So just want to tell you some of the things that I seen. I seen some even man fronts, some four-man fronts, 4-3. Also seen some 3-4s. I seen the NASCAR package put in there. I seen some stunts. I seen some stunts and twists. I also seen a majority of cover three. But the thing is that the cover three was more aggressive. They were playing 2 yards and 5 yards off, opposed to the 15 yards off that they played last year with Jimmy Lake, and it put more pressure on the offense, right? Um, uh, your boy Leonard Floyd, he was putting pressure on Michael Penix all day long. Leonard Floyd looked like a Pro Bowl defensive end today. Pro Bowl outside linebacker. I'm not gonna lie to you. What's going on, Sonya Norwood? I see you here. Chilling out with us on Facebook. Sergeant King is says, hey, Big Low. He said, "Rise up." He just spelled it wrong. What's going on, Sergeant? Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. John Brooks is in here. What's going on, John? Um, let's see. A1 Forever says, "We missed you out there, Coach Roney. But I get it was early, so
it was hot. It was hot for me. I'm delicate.
Sugar melt in the sun. Wait a minute. Rain melt in the sun. Wait. Sugar explodes, don't it?
What?
Does the sugar explode under a high amount of heat? Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, I can't have a baby out there getting too hot. I can't. Got to make sure I take care of my girl there now. We got Michael Ursher in here on Facebook. What's going on with you, Michael Ursher? In the words of a lot of people's grandmothers, Ursher, baby. We got Padre says, Coach Roney, set up with that mic. Oh, with that Mac. Okay. She set me up with the Mac. Oh, that's what it was. She set me up with the with the Microsoft all day. T. Davis says, "What in the world, Bo? What's going on, man?" Matt Town Dirty's in here. What's going on, man? Look, I'm going to tell y'all, training camp as a whole, training the experience today. A1's in here. One time for the fans in here. Training camp as an experience was just great. It was great seeing everybody again. It felt like a family reunion. Coach Ronnie just told me the other day that she wasn't that familiar with that song. I was like, "How you not familiar with the family reunion song?" It felt like a family reunion. It felt like, there's people that you haven't seen in so long. Everybody's excited about seeing football, Falcons football. Everybody's optimistic. Man, it was great. Seeing D. Orlando Ledbetter chilled out with Mike Bell today at Hooters, T. Will's favorite spot. He didn't take us in the back room. Um, chilled out with Mike Conti, uh, Carl Dukes. Bro, we seen a little bit of everybody. Seen Kevin Knight. Shouts out to my homeboy Scout Kennedy. Um, Adnan, man, and shouts out to all the coaching staff and Atlanta Falcons fans that we seen out there, bro. We had a legit good time. One time for the fan in here, he says, "Is Padre here?" He says, "I want to thank him for keeping the grass 3 inch and a quarter cut and adding the Bermuda grass as well at Flowery Branch. The player said, 'Good job,' and it was done on such short notice." So shouts out to Padre for getting everything done in a timely manner. Also, Jack, Coach Rody said that she wanted the house painted sunshine yellow. She didn't want it painted lemon yellow. So make sure that come back and get the job done because um, we know you only take payments in cash. Carrie says, "Big Low, Coach Roney." She said, "Will y'all be at training camp on Sunday? Sadly, I can't make it on Saturday. Would love to see you Sunday. I'll bring the croissants." Oh, man. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. First of all, you ain't gonna see Coach Roney at training camp. Coach Roney has sit outside too many years while I was a coach to be sitting outside at training camp. She ain't doing it no more, y'all.
I'm not sitting outside watching them run routes. I'm not doing it.
Y'all give that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Coach Roney ain't gonna be there. Now, as far as me, it depends on what's going on with Coach Roney, because you gotta take some time to spend time with the people that you love. So, Coach Roney, she being gracious to, allow me to come out here and uh enjoy my fandom. I took some days off to come out here and enjoy my fandom. I don't know, Sunday wasn't on the schedule, was it, babe?
No.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's gonna work. Oh man, A1 Forever says Leonard Floyd and Dorless look good. They sure did. They sure did. Tramalot says any looks at Nick Nash. Man, Nick Nash, yeah, he was running over there on the other side with the 2s and 3s. Shouts out to Nick Nash, man. Nick Nash gave me a pair of his gloves. So I like, "Nick, what you been doing with them gloves?" Like, you like, "Oh, you want them?" You just gave them to me. Some nice Adidas gloves. Shouts out to Nick Nash, man. Coach Roy said, "Yeah, it was too early." Oh man, Winston says, Low, how's the overall team conditioning look? I'll be honest with you, everybody looked pretty healthy. I didn't see anybody. The only person out there that looked like they were out of shape at Flowery Branch today was me. Whenever I went back up to the top of the hill a third time, I was the only person that looked like I was out of shape. So, yeah, everybody looked good. I didn't see nobody, um, you know, bent over. I didn't see nobody, with their hands on top of their head. The coaches staff did a great job of rotating everybody around. So, I mean, everybody looked good. Everybody looked good. Oh yeah, Kerry, yeah. T Will, he didn't take us back there. T Will, yeah, he be going to those. I don't know what kind of hooters he be going to. A1 Forever says, we wouldn't be nothing without you, Padre. Dang, oh, goodness gracious. Coach Runner says, Sergeant King, an umbrella doesn't block humidity. I'm inside with the AC. Boy, what you talking about? What you talking about? All right, so Brandon Levy, he says, what that unicorn looking like, Bo? All right, so let's go ahead and go to the offensive side of the ball. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Once again, I'm gonna say this. I think this is the sixth time I'm saying this. This was the first practice of training camp. But after looking at practice today, it's obvious in my mind, and everybody that's watching who went to training camp today, y'all let me know. Please feel free to chime in. If you felt like the offense is going to be the strength of the team, put a one in the chat. If you feel like it's going to be the defense, put a two in the chat. Or based off what you know, and you didn't go to training camp, let us know. If you feel like the offense is going to be the strength or the defense is going to be the strength, let me know. But if you feel like the offense is going to be better, put a one. Defense, put a two. Off of what I seen, the offense is the strongest part of this team. And Michael Penix, yeah, we seen what he did in the Washington game, right? We seen him in practice last year. But Michael Penix is everything is advertised. Everything is advertised. Michael Penix knows the route concepts and the offense so well that and y'all let me know the people that were watching, he was literally dropping back, pointing guys out that he could throw to, and then making second and third dairy to tertiary, Coach Ronnie. Is that what's the word for third, secondary, and then it's to tertiary? Okay, I learned a new word, y'all. Secondary and tertiary throws. It sounds funny. I say it. Secondary and tertiary tertiary, secondary and tertiary throws. But he was pointing out other throws that he could make before he made the throw that he was supposed to make because he knows the route concept so well. And the crazy thing is, he can make the throws. The young man is throwing the ball down the field with an accuracy that I haven't seen since Matthew Thomas Ryan. But not only that, because a lot of people don't understand this, it's one of those situations where Matt Ryan, a lot of the picks that he threw, they were on out routes. We kind of got to keep it a book. A lot of the picks that Matt Ryan threw, they were on out routes and they were on slants because he couldn't kind of zip it in there, right? Michael Penix Jr. is throwing out routes and he's painting them corners like a lot of those unks out here that get Beijing put in their hair. This young man is painting them edges like somebody hairline is all the way back here. That young man is slinging that ball, Bo. You ain't finna have no picks on passes thrown to the out route. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, the offense is humming. So I just want to check and see what everybody else think. Winston said Kyle Pitts gonna be on nightcap tonight. Okay, gonna be that's pretty cool. Brandon Levy. Archangel, Jay Diaz, MW, the franchise player. They all say, hey, Bo, the offense is the strength of the team. Dre Murphy says, yes, the offense. Sergeant, he says 1 and 2. Bernard, Rounds, Padre. Shouts out to Tanisha in here. Um, they all say 1. They say it's one of them situations where the offense is obviously the strength of the team. Kerry says it's a great day to be a Kyle Pitts defender. 1. Trail Jennings says 1. Also, I need y'all to do a country boy a favor. Make sure that you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you do subscribe, if you haven't got married yet, whenever you do get married, I'm gonna dance at your wedding one day. But yes, it looks like everybody is in agreement. Raymond Collins in here, he said his mouth is zipped. He said he ain't even gonna say nothing. Rounds 1 says, here we go. Okay. Daryl, what's going on, Daryl? Hope you're doing good tonight, Bo. He says 1. He says he feels like the offense is the strength of the team. Well, Amy says we find out Troy Anderson, if he can make the roster, it look like he ain't even gonna be practicing. He on the pup list. And if I'm not mistaken, that's like 3 weeks. That's like 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Richard Russell, Big Low, says, hope you're doing well, my friend. What's going on, Richard? I was actually texting your brother earlier. Um, uh, so yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, the way Michael Penix is running this offense, and I'm not even gonna go into what I learned about the offense from the quarterback series. That's a whole nother deal. But the fact of the matter is, the way that this young man is running this offense, and you put the arm to go with it, it's gonna be an ugly day. The reason why I say this, Bijan Robinson. Oh my goodness, good googly moogly. This young man is out there making people look sick. What was Neo's song? And I'm so sick of love song, so tired. These DBs and linebackers, I'm so sick of juke move, sick of sore ankle. I'm telling boy, if the ball is checked down, Bijan Robinson is making the first man miss. And he legitimately caught, I think, just one in the flat. And if it would have been a live game, it would have been a touchdown. He ain't have no business juking and shucking and jiving the way that he was on the first day of training camp like that. That's unfair. That's unfair. So whenever y'all ask about as far as what the offense is looking like, Bijan Robinson, Michael Penix, good to go. Drake London, good to go. Drake London didn't. There wasn't one ball that touched the ground. John Person, what's going on, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. Out there in old Tennessee. What in the world? Padre says, I just hit that like button. Did you? Sonya Norwood, she agrees on Facebook. She says, "Oh, 1 for sure. It's not a question. If it's a question, she says it's not no question. You got it." But the star on offense today, I forgot who asked about the unicorn. Star on offense today was Kyle Pitts. Star on offense today was Kyle Pitts. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. All right. I made a post today on Twitter. I said, hey y'all, I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'm at training camp. Kyle Pitts is looking like a freaking monster. Michael Penix, whenever he stepped up to the podium after training camp, Michael Penix said, yeah, the focus was to get Kyle Pitts the ball, and I think we did that today. I'd be doggone, Bo, if you didn't. That young man peppered Kyle Pitts the ball. And the crazy thing is, Kyle Pitts was looking a whole nother step faster. So, all right, 2 years ago, Kyle Pitts got hurt. And, he came back that next year, ended up starting the season, right? So the crazy thing is that I think everyone kind of moved past the fact that, hey, he needed some time to become comfortable with his injury, get over the whole mental hurdle and everything. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was thinking, hey, if he's out there, you play. But I see now that Kyle Pitts has a step from what I seen in training camp. And the crazy thing is, everybody on Twitter, well, not everybody, I'm not going to say that. A lot of people on Twitter were saying, yeah, we hear this every year. Yeah, everybody talks about how good he looks. Everybody looks good in practice, this, that, and the third. But whenever I see the way that he was moving today, opposed to the way that he was moving last year, I see a difference. I'm just going to be completely honest. I see a difference. I see someone who has a little bit quicker of a step. There was one time it's like he made an in and out. It was almost like a Texas joint, a zig. And whenever he put his foot in the ground and went, I remember he had on red sleeves. I just seen a red blur, like just come across. He was moving that fast. He was literally out there running like he was the fastest receiver on the field. And let me remind you, you had Darnell Mooney, you had Ray McLeod. He was looking like he was the fastest guy on the field. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you. He's looking legit. My homeboy, let's get it. GA in here. He says, give me the lowdown on day one training camp. Let me give you the lowdown. What's going on, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, man. Kyle Pitts is looking like 2021 Kyle Pitts. He's looking like that. Padre says, hey, man, I feel like the Panthers are going to show up this year. They might be second in the division behind us. First of all, don't give the Panthers that kind of energy. There was a Panthers fan at Hooters earlier today, and he was feeling himself. He came in there with a Cam Newton jersey on, and I kind of had to knock him down a peg. I said, look here, first of all, it's one of those situations where I told everyone, don't give him the energy that we're in a rivalry when we're not in a rivalry. Whenever we play the Panthers, or you talk to a Panthers fan, you give them the same type of energy as you used to have whenever you played against your little brother on the Super Nintendo and their controller was unplugged. That's how we treat Panthers fans. We don't take them seriously. They want to be in a rivalry, but it's not a rivalry. Every now and then they might slip up and get one, right? But at the end of the day, we own the Panthers. We got to pay property taxes on the Panthers every year. We own them. We got to pay for insurance. You got to pay property taxes, ad valorem tax, all that. We own the Panthers. So, I can't give them that kind of energy, Padre. Tanisha says, I never gave up on Pitts and truly think he will be what we need him to be this year. I'm hoping that that's the case, my friend. Also, I'm hoping I can give you that. Dun, 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 that's a Superman chat. Shouts out to you, Tanisha. But Kyle Pitts was looking legit. Sorry to say that. Not property taxes. Yes, we pay property taxes on the board. Bernard says Pitts looking great. It's the best news I could have imagined out of day one. Oh, whenever I'm saying he's looking great, he's looking. I've watched a whole bunch of football. The year we went to the Super Bowl, I told Coach Roney, after we went to training camp, Coach Roney, she would go to training camp then. I told her, I said, this team, I said, everything is faster out there. I told her that. I said, everything is faster than it normally would be at a training camp. And lo and behold, we ended up going to the Super Bowl. And I remember everyone saying, yeah, you got all these rookies starting. Can Matt Ryan pick this offense up? This, that, and the third. The thing is that this team looks completely different than the last time I seen the team in training camp. And mind you, that was with Arthur Smith. But you can also tell the difference in the preseason. Yes, sir. HOA fees and everything. Christian Lewis is in here. Says, what in the world, Bo? He says, treat the Panthers like the Aints. Says, they have been beyond themselves since their look. Boy, they feeling. What's that? Beyonce song? Feeling myself. Feeling myself. That's the Panthers. My homeboy, let's get it, says, I love him, I hate him. RP Hulk Hogan. Just wanted to show respect to an icon. Old holster. Zachary Noble says, unknowns were making plays too. Yeah, I mean you're definitely right. Casey Washington. Casey Washington is a player that has a great rapport with Michael Penix. He was out there doing his thing. Um, look, Charlie Warner, he was making a few catches. So bro, I feel like Michael Penix is going to be one of those guys who lean on the wire. I mean, lean on the tight ends and the running backs pretty heavily, and I think he's going to be just a guy that throws to the open man. Whenever you have a quarterback who legitimately knows the progressions, he knows the route concepts, he knows where everyone's supposed to be. Like I said, he was dropping back in the back pedal, like, oh, I could hit him. I'm going to hit him. Whenever you see that, you already know what's going on. Sergeant Keith said, hey. You watch your mouth talking about the ain'ts now. Tanisha says, it says, Raheem, better call them timeouts. They don't roll over to the next game. Now, that's something else that I wanted to kind of talk about with everybody. Now, I didn't get a chance to watch the press conference after training camp. And if anyone did get a chance to watch it, now feel free to put a 1 in the chat. But my question is, have y'all noticed that it's one of those situations where Raheem Morris ain't really a ha and a key in
No more?
like he was. Have you noticed that, Coach Ronnie?
No.
He been kind of quiet. You know, I don't know if y'all noticed this. He been pretty tame. Now, last year he was coming in. Yeah, I mean, shoot. I mean, we're gonna come in. We're gonna outrun the South. Nobody's ready for us. We would have been in the playoffs last year if we didn't have a quarterback. Man, we're gonna put this team together. We will generate pressure. We will outrun the South. I ain't really been hearing all this. They just been answering the questions, going on about his business. But y'all let me know if in the words of Coach Roney, if Raheem been doing all this skinning and grinning like he was last year. Brandon Levy said, "Yeah, Raheem, he stopped all that. Okay, so because that was Coach Roney's favorite term, all that skinning and grinning that he was doing. I don't know if it's one of them situations where somebody might have talked to him and said, "Hey, you need to chill out." I don't know. They were like, "Hey, we'll talk after we win. You're not in that tier right now. Winners talk." I don't know if y'all ever seen that Progressive commercial. Sprinkles are for winners. Talking is for winners. Oh man, my homeboy Georgia, Texas boy. He says, "What's happening, Big Low Falcons family? The new era is here. The Atlanta Falcons will rise in 2025. Hello, you already know what time it is." Karina says, "Yeah, he has been extremely quiet." I was just wondering if it was me. Trauma Lot says, "Man, forget all of them. We run the South, and we got something to say." Okay, Dre, I hear you, Bo. Georgia Texas boy says, "Yes, Raheem ready to handle business." And that, look, I'm not mad. If that's how we rolling, that's how we rolling. Lock and load. Tanisha says, "Oh yeah, he humble now." Dun dun dun. That's a Superman chat. Look here, man. What your boy Kendrick said? Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Hold up. Hold up. Sit down. CJ Hill says, "Big Low, what's going on, Siege? Hope you're doing good tonight, my family." Zachary says, "I forgot the kicker from Germany. Legit." So I'm glad that you mentioned that, Zach. I wasn't paying no attention to the kicker competition. That's something I should have been paying attention to. Whenever you come to training camp, guys, there's just so much going on. So how did Lenny Craig look? If you don't mind sharing with the coaching staff, that see this is the purpose of the coaching staff. You got other people who are actually paying attention, because I wasn't paying the attention that I should have to the kickers. My apologies, y'all. So Zach, if you could let us know how that kicking competition was looking. Yeah, Jay, he ain't what is it? He a shook one. That's that. Look, that's what he ain't a crook, son. He a shook one. Saya says, Raheem acting like this year to be about it and not talk about it. Hello, look at the end of the day, that's what you should have did last year. I understand you want to, hype everybody up and kind of get everybody going, get some excitement going. You done came back to the city, but Raheem just talked a little bit too much. I mean, let's keep it a bug. Let's keep it a bug. Like he just talked a little too much. Sergeant says, Lo, y'all gonna be to the London game. So it's actually the Germany game. And yeah, we hadn't really determined exactly how we're gonna handle that yet. So we'll definitely keep y'all updated on that one. But yeah, that game is in Berlin, Germany. I talked to a lot of Falcons fans today. They said that they're going. If I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Karina said that she's going. I think Jack's still trying to decide what he's going to do, but I know Mike Bell and Carl Dukes, they're going with the radio station and everything. Mike Bell said he's talking about flying into Prague. So, that's the beautiful thing about Europe. You can fly into another country and then just get on the train. It's like riding MARTA to the next country because the countries are so small. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely an option. She just said, Abo, them pads popping tomorrow. So if I'm not mistaken, I think they start suiting up in pads, I think in a week. So that's definitely an option. We'll see if we can come back and check them out. Tanisha says, yes, that part, Sonya. Yes, you humble now. Oh man, Dre Murphy says, home safe and sound from work, beloved help. Well, we definitely glad that you made it. Sonya Norwood says she's gonna be in Germany. Okay, definitely. Shouts out to Sonya. Karina said she's gonna be going out there to Germany, checking out them Falcons fans. Dre says, who was another standout to you on both sides of the ball, though? Storm Norton. Once again, wasn't a padded practice. What I'm looking at who's hitting the other person first. How quick are you getting up out of your stance, right? What's your footwork looking like on those running plays? Are you running at that 45-degree angle? How quick are you getting to that second level? What's that kickback looking like? They actually rotated Storm Norton and Caleb McGarry out a few times, and Storm Norton he held his own. He held his own. Ryan Nuziel, look, we didn't have any high or any low snaps. Once again, it's not a padded practice, but Storm Norton, he stood out to me. He looks like he's more than capable of doing the job if something happens to Caleb McGarry. Who else really stood out to me? Mike Hughes. Mike Hughes made a great play on Darnell Mooney. As a matter of fact, I believe that was Mike Hughes that was guarded Darnell Mooney on that play he got hurt on. I can't remember. But Mike Hughes he made a few plays today. He was where he needed to be at all the time. So bro, I'm I am this is the most optimistic I've been in a long time. Crazy thing is that if it's one of those situations, if everyone stays healthy, I don't see I don't see it being a situation where we just don't have the talent. Because if you look at the rosters, if you look at the issues that we had last year, first of all, Jimmy Lake is not a coach, right? Jimmy Lake Lanier is not a coach. Second of all, the front seven is better. I mean, look, we love Nate Landman for the effort that he brought, but I attribute players players are kind of like car parts, right? You know, the the system or the defense that you're running is the actual car, and then the players are the parts of the car. Some players are OEM parts, original manufactured parts for the vehicle. Some players are non OEM parts. Now, look, I bought a lot of parts from Rock Auto in the past that AC Delco, y'all don't get mad at me now. A lot of times the parts have worked. A lot of times the parts didn't necessarily fit the way that they were supposed to. Nate Landman was a non OEM part. We appreciated his effort. We appreciate what he do, what he did for us, huh? Oh, I'm frozen. I apologize, y'all. Am I frozen? If y'all could let me know. But at the end of the day, is the sound still working? Oh, okay. But at the end of the day, it's one of those situations. Y'all, if I'm frozen, if y'all can hear me, put a one in the chat. Okay, George Texas boy says I'm good. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's one of those situations, guys, where if the part necessarily doesn't fit as much as we like the part, you just got to get a better part. And I feel like Divine Diablo has the potential to be an OEM part. And I apologize if y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Sergeant King says AutoZone parts return twice before fitting. Exactly, exactly. It's one of them situations where you know sometimes you just got to move on to get a better part. And I feel like with this team, with this roster that we have, the only way we will have a losing record is that if we suffer from injuries. That's all I'm saying. A2 Monte Carlo says, "Low, you know something? Because that AC Delco got to go back in them Chevys. They get the chip. Well, you ain't never lie, boy. When it comes to the Chevys, boy, look, they work a little bit better on the fours, but when it comes to them Chevys, look, it's completely different. Um, uh, George Texas boy says, "Hey, William, Kevin King, gone. You said it. Yeah, Kevin King. They had to go ahead and make that move. That cornerback room is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Cornerback and wide receiver room. 330's in here. What's going on, 330? Hope you're doing good tonight, my fam. Marlon Mitchell's in here. The home team with Blackberries in here says yeet low. Yeet. What's going on, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. Sergeant King, Dre Murphy, Mac Time Daddy. They all okay. So okay, y'all can hear me. Gotcha. I'm glad that the soliloquy didn't go to waste, right? But moving forward, I mean, to answer your question, Dre, there's a lot of guys that stood out. Now, I don't know if it was just a situation where I was just excited to see Falcons football again, but once again, I've seen a lot of football over the years, and I've seen a lot of teams come back from their breaks and everything. And I mean, this team, as far as where they're conditioning and everything, they look like they're ready to go. They look like they can play in the game tomorrow, right? The speed is there. I mean, Caden Ellis looks like it looked like he could play a little bit freer with Divine Diablo. It's looking like Divine Diablo is going to get the green dot. Um, Once again, Divine Diablo is my surprise guy for this season. I know a lot of people got caught up in the PFF numbers and things like that, but I really feel like Jeff Obert can get him right. Trick says, "Low, how DT looking?" So I'm glad that you mentioned that. Morgan Fox. Morgan Fox, they had him lined up in 1 and 3 technique. He once again, first practice, no pads. We ain't gonna go too crazy. Morgan Fox, he was getting off the ball very well. There was one time where he just kind of shot the gap, that attacking style defensive tackle that Raheem Morris wants. He got in the backfield. He actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was the one that sacked Kirk Cousins. I know Brandon Dorless, he came on that stunt and he got back there. Like I said, Leonard Floyd is looking like a Pro Bowl. First of all, Leonard Floyd is huge. Leonard Floyd is bigger than James Pierce. He is huge. But fact of the matter is that the DTs, the defensive tackles are looking legit. Rook is looking good. I'm going to be completely honest. Please don't get mad at me for saying this. As far as value, Rook is looking like he could do similar to what Grady did for a whole lot less money. Um, Morgan Fox, he looked real good. Brandon Dorless, he looked real good. Zach Harrison on the defensive line, he got my game ball today. Judge Tate boy said, Grady who? Nah, I rock with Grady. Look, I apologize. I'm just saying he looks like he could do close to what because what did Grady get last year? I know what is it, 4 sacks or 3.5 sacks, if I'm not mistaken. I think your boy Root could do the same thing, right? Yeah, Grady, he's in Chicago. So I mean, moving forward, uh, if I look at position groups and I say who did the best today, I mean you really can't tell because there wasn't any pass, but I mean, whoa, the receivers and Kyle Pitts, I mean, even Charlie Warner, they just had such a great productive day, great productive day. Now we all know that at training camp, there's a couple of things that happen. You have a couple of scenarios. Either one, the offense comes out and goes gangbusters because it's one of them situations ain't nobody popping, ain't no pads popping, right? So it could be one of them situations where uh the offense just looks really good right now because of that, or it's one of those cases where they're running these new installs. Like I said, the defense was a lot more aggressive. Now, I'm surprised that we ran the stunts and loopers on day one of training camp, but there's no telling how much install they had during mini camp and OTAs. Now, what I can tell you is that I don't feel like it's the case where the offense just looks good because we're not hitting or because of the install. I think it's one of those cases where this offense is just going to be pretty good. In all honesty, now I could be wrong, but I feel like that's the case. Um, Jordan Tate was it? You heard about Caleb Williams getting benched, man. So I heard that I think they said he threw a pick on his first possession, and then I think they jumped off sides later on in the practice, and he got benched. But I that's just Ben Johnson um establishing his dominance. Caleb Williams, he's a different kind of cat. So I think it's just one of them situations where he wants to, make sure, you know, he wants Caleb Williams to know who's in charge. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's one of them situations where it's a huge issue. It's a huge issue. Now, I did want to ask y'all if you're coming to training camp or, whenever we go back to training camp on Saturday, who y'all want me to keep an eye out for, who y'all want me to look out for to see, what they're going to be looking like, because that's my job. I gotta see what's popping off, and then I gotta report it back to y'all. So y'all let me know who y'all want me to check in on. Um, let's see here. King Seven says that nah, Bo, you ain't late. You right on time. You right on time, Bo. Hope you doing good tonight. That's right. That's right, Dre. Better late than never. Never. Better late than never. Beloved, hello. You already know. My homeboy Skin, he says Nick Nash. Okay. So like I said, Nick Nash, he was running with the twos and threes earlier today. He looked good. He was getting really good separation. I didn't realize he was that big. Um so and shouts out to Nick Nash, man. Nick Nash gave me a pair of gloves. So shouts out to that, man. Adidas gloves. Um Tanisha with the Superman chat says, I don't care who's out there as long as we win. Hello. Da da da. That's a Superman chat. That's what I'm talking about, Tanisha. Lock and low. Lock and low. Georgia Texas boy said, you want me to keep an eye on Billy Bowman. Billy Bowman, as once again I say it, as far as the rookies go, Billy Bowman was the best looking rookie to me. And look, that was just me. I think that just goes to show how good this rookie class is. But Billy Bowman, he was the best looking rookie to me. Jay Coop, he says, uh, yeah, what was Kobe doing, Bo? Man, so it was messed up because Kobe, he actually, we were trying to call him over there. We seen, he was out there. He didn't really like make any huge impact, but he looked good in his back pedals and his speed turns and everything. But funny story about Kobe. Now we were trying to call players over to us. And I think it was one of them situations where only certain position groups could come. So like we were trying to call Kobe over, and like Kobe, he was walking back to the locker room and he was just putting his hand up, waving. Like he was acting like he wanted to come over there, but he ain't come. But Me and Jack were talking. It was one of those situations where it was like, you know what? You think about it. I don't think none of the DBs came over. So, I think he just couldn't make it over there. He might be able to come over there on on Saturday. Where you going, Fine? Oh, okay. Tanisha says Billy and Kobe and Watts. So Xavier Watts, he did play with the ones a little bit beside Jesse Bates. And bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, Xavier Watts, he looked good. I remember one time they ran that cover three, and the way that he got back in the deep third, it looked like I think Kirk Cousins was the quarterback then. I think it forced an interception, but Kirk Cousins was looking like he wanted to take a shot. But the way that he speed turned and just got back there, then he turned that hit around while he was going back. Like Kirk Cousins had to check it down. No, I think Kirk Cousins had to take a sack on that play because he looked like he was going to check it down, but there was somebody down on the underneath too, bro. I'm telling you, this defense looks a whole lot more aggressive. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is that you could run a cover three or you could run a shell defense and still be aggressive with it. I don't think people realize that. I know Jimmy. I know Jimmy did, but I don't think people realize that. So, look, man. And then the crazy thing is, whenever you talk to a lot of the other minds, shouts out to Jarvis Davis, man. Met Jarvis Davis today. Um, Great people. I didn't realize Jarvis that big though. I was like, dang, Jarvis, you big boy, ain't you, boy? You why did he get you to line up? But look, everybody was impressed with the way that the defense looked. Now, mind you, I don't know if it's one of those situations where it was like, hey, your expectations, you know, based off of what you had last year, if you're used to something that's not as good, like, hey, it is what it is. But I really feel like it's one of those cases where, we legitimately might have something with this defense. My homeboy Georgia Texas boy said, "Hey, Bo, keep an eye on James Pierce Jr." I look, we definitely will. Man, everybody watching James Pierce Jr. Every time James Pierce Jr. went out on the field, everybody was like, "Oh, there go 27 right there. There go 27. Keep your eye out for 27." So yeah, man, I'm definitely excited. Definitely excited. I do need y'all to do a country boy a favor. Make sure that you hit that like button. You hit that like button for me. I promise you, I'll dance at your wedding one day. So I think next Tuesday is when they put them pads on, Jay. Somebody put it in the chat a little bit early. I thought it had to be a week, but apparently it's next Tuesday. Tanisha says, I like Jarvis. He's so man, Jarvis good people, bro. Jarvis good people. Great follow on Twitter. And great on YouTube as well with the content that he makes. Shouts out to Jarvis. King Seven says the key player to the front line will be Root. I think if he eats, the JPJ and Walker will eat and eat good. I'm not mad at that, Bo. I'm not mad at that. Look, it's one of them situations where Rook, he has to be the Grady Jarrett now moving forward. He has to play that three technique and get some penetration and hopefully take on those double teams from that tackle and that guard. So you could or I'm sorry, that tackle and that center, and moving forward, try to create those one on ones for um, the Leonard Floyds, the Arnold Ebikettis, the Jalen Walkers, and the James Pierce Juniors of the world. If you could do that, and don't forget about Braylon Trice. Braylon Trice. I didn't realize that he was as big as he was. I knew that whenever we drafted him, they said he was 275, but he didn't look as big in college as he does now. But he's been out for the whole season. He's probably been hitting that weight room hard. Tin Cam says the good thing with the rookies practicing with the twos is that they're going to go up against a quarterback like Kirk Cousins. Yes. Now, I don't know if everybody heard, but at training camp, and I don't know if I told you this, Coach Ronan, but at training camp, there was a weird energy going around. First of all, I'm gonna say shouts out to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins came, he signed autographs, he took pictures. that's something. Well, I don't know if it's something he had to do or not, but you know, all off season he's been public enemy number one, and I was wondering how exactly that was going to go. So shouts out to Kirk Cousins for actually coming out and spending some time with the fans. But as training camp started, everybody's phones got an alert, and we heard that Justin Fields had a leg injury and got carted off the field.
What?
Yeah. So everybody was like, "Oh, Kirk Cousins,
Where's he at now?
he with the Jets."
Oh wow.
So everybody like, "Oh man, Kirk Cousins going to the Jets. Y'all enjoy watching Kirk right now as long as you can, because he ain't gonna be here much longer." But then we found out it was a toe injury. So I don't know if,
Oh, not that serious.
yeah, I don't know if it's that serious. First of all, why are you getting carted off the field
For your toe?
for a toe injury? And I've had toe injuries. I've toe you can't play in them.
It could be serious. You
You,
don't know.
you can't play in with a toe injury. I understand that, but to get carted off the field, am I wrong?
Yeah, you might be wrong. You don't know how serious it is.
All right, coaching staff, I need to know. All right, am I wrong for questioning Justin Fields getting carted off the field for a toe? If I'm wrong, put a one in the chat. If
It's
it,
their cart. If they want to cart that man off the field, they can cart that man off the field.
if I'm not wrong, put a two in the chat. I'm just saying, like, you also got to think about the optics, right? Like, everybody's out there watching you. So it's one of those situations where it's like, oh man, turf toe, turf toe. Oh, are you okay, Justin? Because the trainers, they run up. Oh man, where's the pain at? Are you okay? They try to tell you to calm down and everything. Oh, it's my toe. Get in the cart. Like, am I wrong?
Yes, I already said you were wrong.
I don't think I'm wrong for that one. All right, let me see what everybody in the coach staff say. We got Let Us Pray in the building. What's going on, Let Us Pray? I'll make sure y'all check out brother Let Us Pray out. He says, what in the world, Bo? He says, we out here in Savannah, Georgia. Says the heat and humidity is crazy, boy. You better. So Let Us Pray. He lives in Cali.
Oh,
Yeah.
and on vacation.
Yeah. He says, I had to come back and watch the beginning of the stream. Much love to you, Bo. Man, shouts out to you, man. You down there in our stomping grounds to 912. Much love to you, Bo. Y'all stay safe down there. Like, so 10 Cam says he was in a tent. So I said put a one in the chat if you feel like I'm wrong and you agree with Coach Roney. Put a two in the chat if a card is overreacting to a toe injury. So let's see what did everybody say? Georgia, Texas boy says two. He said he feels like it's one of them situations where, yeah, you in the words of Coach Roney, team too much, TTM. Dre Murphy says team too much. You don't need a card for a toe injury. Like, come on, bro. King Seven says two. Says you don't need a card for a toe injury. Rounds one says I don't want Kurt to go nowhere. Who is our quarterback three? Easton Stick. Yeah, Easton Stick. Marlon Mitchell says two. He says, you're not wrong, coach. Sergeant King says, Cardall sounds serious. Jay Coop says, franchise quarterback, Bo. They don't want you to walk on that. I understand. Jay Diaz says, one, I heard around this time, they cart players off no matter what. Oh, see, so I didn't know that. And that's why Coach Ronald said I was wrong. Let Us Pray says two, no doubters. Okay. Dries Brownlee says two. You don't need a card for a toe injury. I mean, I understand they cart players off a lot because, you know, they don't want any issues, but daggone, like if it's a toe, I can see an ankle. If your ankle's done, I can see that. But daggone, a toe. Matt Town Dirty says two. Traveling Mind says no. You're not wrong. All my toes are bad, and I'm still walking around. Okay. What in the world, bro? Uh, my homeboy Skin, he says, Emory Jones, Jay-Z homeboy, Emory Jones. He's nah. So the third quarterback is Easton Stick. Emory Jones is number four. So yeah, it's Slim Pickens, Slim Pickens. But that's the thing. Everybody was whispering like, "Hey, we might need to go ahead and uh, trade Kirk Cousins now that old Justin Fields is hurt." And I want to know what y'all think about that. Do y'all feel like we should make a trade for Kirk Cousins? I feel like you done came this far. You might as well see it through, right? I mean, Kirk Cousins, even if he doesn't want to actually show Michael Penix what to do, Michael Penix could still watch what Kirk Cousins does and put his own stank on it. If y'all feel like we should keep Kirk Cousins, put a 3 in the chat. If you feel like we should move on, put a 4 in the chat. Also, y'all make sure that y'all hit that like button, subscribe button, share the channel with your friends and family. If you do that, I promise you, I'll dance at your wedding one day. Jeannie Davis says 1. It's precautionary. Okay, I mean I understand that. Wait a minute, did I say 3 for to keep him, Coach Ronan, or was you paying attention?
I wasn't paying
Okay,
attention.
all right.
I'm watching the Love Island.
Oh, you watching Love Island? I should have known. I should have known. Y'all, Coach Ronan killed me with Love Island, y'all. All right, so y'all, if y'all could let me, did I say 3? We should keep them, and 4 we should go ahead and let them go if we find a trade partner. If y'all could kind of verify that for me, because y'all know the old country boy's memory is throwed off. Oh man. George Chase boy said Jets just got Tyrod Taylor and no, keep Kurt until season's end. I agree with you on that in that regard. I agree with you. Okay. Dre Murphy said I appreciate that, Dre. Okay. Dre Murphy says 3 to keep him, 4 to let him walk. All right. So um Skin says go ahead, keep him. Dre Murphy put 4, but he meant to put 3. Georgia Texas boy says 3. Go ahead and keep him. Rounds 1 says probably or probably 3. Probably for insurance. Dre Murphy says 3. Go ahead and keep him. Dre, he was a team get rid of Kurt for weeks, but now he's changing his mind. Sergeant says no, keep him. If I was a Falcon. King Seven says, "Hey, Christian Wilkins got released from the. Oh shoot, Christian Wilkins got released. Daggone. It's that time of the year they starting to release those top tier guys. Well, you know, pretty good players. Kenan Moss, Marlon Mitchell, Jay, Dre the Boxer, CJ. They all say 3. They say go ahead and keep that. Go ahead and keep Kirk Cousins. Armand Singh says, why are we texting numbers? I just joined. So look, this is a tradition of the coaching staff. Instead of you having to type things out, we just say we'll ask a question. It's like a 1 or it'll be like a 1 or a 2 for like a yes or a no. So Armand, the question is, do you feel like the Atlanta Falcons should keep Kirk Cousins? If you do feel like that's the case, put a 3 in the chat. If you think we should go ahead and trade them and get rid of them, put a 4 in the chat. Let's see. Tree said 3, I guess. Oh man. Skin says 3 to keep them. We already paid the price. There you go. There you go. Yeah, Armand to keep Kurt. Matt Town Dirty says 3, keep them. Okay. Okay. So, do want to let y'all know. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see this earlier. Saturday after practice, we're meeting at Diesel Tap House for lunch. It's not that far from the facility. And if you're going back to Atlanta, you literally have to pass it to get back to Atlanta. So make sure that y'all come out to Diesel Tap House. If y'all want to come chill out with some of your favorite Atlanta Falcons content creators, some Atlanta Falcons fans. We get together, we have a good time. So y'all make sure that y'all come on and chill out with us if you come to practice on Saturday, or if you live in the area and you just need something to do and you need to eat on a Saturday afternoon, you might as well kill 2 birds at one time. So y'all make sure that y'all come on out and chill out with us. Gene Davis says 3. We got to pay him anyway. Virgin Boys in here says go who? Goodness gracious, go Bucks. Man, ain't nobody worried about no Bucks. We taking the throne this year, Bo. Look, y'all better do like Jay-Z and Kanye and watch the throne, because we coming for it. George Chase Boy says Kurt has been injured 2 seasons straight. Netflix showed a lot about Kurt. He might retire after this season. You never know. You never know. Georgia Tech boy says Wilkers got cut because he didn't want to have foot surgery. Oh no, yeah, you could stay where you at. I ain't trying to have somebody that don't want to have surgery. No, Ron Johnson says 44 fours. He says it doesn't matter for teams chemistry. Uh, but I want my back. I want back my 180. Now you ain't gonna get that 180 mil back. You might get a fraction of it back, but you ain't gonna get that 180 mil back. Jada Boston says teams ain't do us favors before the bonus kicked in and got us. He says, make them live with the current quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, might as well keep them. Armand says, 3, keep them. You never know what can happen to Michael. He tore his ACL twice, and Kurt can still play with experience. I definitely agree with you on that one, Bo. Let us pray says 3, 4 only. If it's the best for the team, says no rush because we already paid that extra 10 mil. They caught us slipping. We look. I ain't gonna lie to you. We got finesse. we got finesse, bro. Look at here. Everybody in the chat they got finesse before. Everybody done got finesse, and you walk away being like, "Dang, man, that joke got me." That's what happened. That's what Kirk Cousins' agent did to us. We got finesse. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I mean, at the end of the day, you still got your quarterback of the future. You made the gutsy move, going ahead and getting Michael Penix, and I mean, after what I seen today, I'm more than happy with it, bro. So look, I'm good to go. Look at here, man. First day of training camp was great. Shouts out to everyone we got a chance to see. Um, Shouts out to all the players that we met, all the players that put in great effort on the field. All the coaches, training staff, everybody with the Atlanta Falcons organization. Um, and moving forward, we need to just keep stacking the days and get ready for week 1 against the Buccaneers. We got to whoop up on version of them and the Buccaneers because, so we could take the throne from them. But look, I definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming on and chopping it up with us. I do need you to make sure that you hit that like button, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And look, bro, I mean, the off season is over now. Like it's time to get it. It's time to get. It's time to lock and load. We need to go ahead and see what we could do about going to these playoffs. And we've never had a winning season since the Big Low Country YouTube channel has been a thing. So, let's go ahead and have a winning season, and we're gonna get the rest of these teams to business, Bo. It's one of those situations where if they think we troll them, that's right, Tin Cam. But the thing is that if they think that I'm a troll, they haven't seen nothing yet. They haven't seen nothing yet. So look, I know that it's late. I just want to come on, report to y'all what I seen after training camp. But I need y'all to stay safe. Please don't do anything that we would do. Rise up, A-time down. Football is back. What in the world, Bo?